Today we are continuing to rank every epic level. I am joined by top player Shroomy, as you can see on the top right, and we are going to discuss these lovely 10 levels. So the first level we have up is Ancient Complex, which is this level here, and in my opinion, this level is just very generic. It introduces the concepts, but it really doesn't do anything with them. They just appear and then just go away right away. And the only thing I remember about this level is that the third coin was really cool and actually expanded on
the mechanics.
Yeah, the third coin was better than the entire rest of the level.
I have not gotten the third coin, so I cannot speak on it, but yeah, everything you said, the mechanics don't feel like mechanics that were introduced and then slowly built up upon. Features you get.
So not so epic. So the next level is the highest point. So the highest point is just really generic. It just has a bunch of random stuff slapped together, but the maze part was so unfun.
I mean, I definitely agree with the fact it's like not epic worthy, but like, I don't know, I find it kind of charming. It looks like a fun level to build. But yeah, it's not like epic worthy and stuff, but I mean, I appreciate the effort.
So here's a new tier, has an annoying part because of the maze section, but the water section at the end was pretty cool. It was somewhat fun. So Flipswap Factory is so fun.
This level is not epic, this is legendary. Boom, explosion sound effect.
I'm going to go through and describe how Flipswap Factory works as well as it does. The main thing about Flipswap Factory is that it constantly expands on the gimmick in new and creative ways. It introduces it really well because the first thing you do in the level automatically is jump. Because you jump, you notice that the flippers flip each jump, and then it uses that throughout the first few rooms, and then afterwards it introduces the horizontal flippers and how you can interact with them. And then you keep going on. At some point you have to figure out you can actually press jump mid-air to flip the thing without jumping. So you can press it twice in a row to keep it in the same state. As I said, like the level just keeps expanding upon its gimmicks, and room 8 just changes the level entirely with a new twist. Because if you time to flip, you get a huge launch with it.
This level is very speedrunnable.
You can actually go back to the beginning rooms and optimize them with that new mechanic. That it's used in a bunch of speedruns. It's so good. It also adds a second twist where it adds spikes and bounce pads to the flippers. So you have to be more aware of how exactly you're flipping through the rooms. The room 14 auto scroller, it feels so satisfying to do because you're constantly just falling down and flipping so that you don't run into spikes while falling. It's like one of the best parts of the level. You said you really like that part, right, Shroomy?
Yeah, that part just goes hard. It's just the way it switches up like the atmosphere where just like adding some extra music and like you are falling down and you gotta save yourself. It's just really cool.
What especially works well with that part is that it's such like so different from the rest of the level that it feels so unique and satisfying.
The mechanic itself is just very expansive in a way. There's like a lot of stuff you can do with it, and guess what? The level does a lot of stuff with it.
The last two rooms truly feel like a final test of if you understand how the level works, which is really satisfying every time. Okay, I say Flipswap Factory is not epic, it's legendary. That's where we're putting it. So the next level is Treasure's Trial, and basically
robot talk in robot top level, but
it's boring. There's so many unskippable cutscenes where basically you just have to wait 10 seconds after you do like 20 seconds of gameplay, and it just like feels like I just want to be out of this level, please.
The only way you could like make this level epic while changing nothing but the dialogue. Grab that, I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, no, we're not talking about how you're changing the plot to like the robot divorcing his wife. Okay.
Yeah, or good.
that won't make the story the level epic. That'd be so random.
It would.
No, it wouldn't. Why? Okay. Another part about this level is that the checkpoints are so long. Like there's like 1 to 2 minute checkpoints without anything in between. And I think there's a box, if you don't push correctly, you can just get soft locked. The new tier is going to be slightly irritating. That's a new tier. We need more tiers, okay?
Yes, just slightly. I can remember being slightly angry.
So the next level is MS-22, and as you know, it's a synthesizer. It's really impressive. That's all I can say. I don't know how to use a synthesizer. Okay, so I'm adding a new tier. It's called the synthesizer tier.
I don't like the synthesizer. Okay, next level is the running to the hills.
I will say that I think the platforming gameplay before the boss drags the level down, because as I said, I think it just introduces concepts, but it doesn't really use them in various ways. It just kind of is too short for my liking. I feel like the first part could have been a lot longer. I will say, I think the boss is really well designed. The different attacks are well indicated and fair, because something I've noticed is that like there's various sound cues and all of the attacks are color coded. So you can just look at the color to know what attack is coming and how to interact, which is very nice design. And the boss fight doesn't drag on for too long. I'd say like the level part drags it down, but I think the boss fight part is really good.
And more of the level is fine, but then the boss suddenly is like very good because it just comes out of a sudden. Behold! I put a feature.
I'm going to add a new tier, okay?
No.
Yes, I'm going to add a new tier. I'll make one part better. So the next level is the infection, and this level is just really fun. You get a gun at the start, and it introduces you how to use it well. And the following rooms make you use it in various creative ways, like during the art scroller, you're actively playing and looking ahead on where to fire it. And the puzzle room with the door locks, you have to optimize your path while figuring out the best way to use the gun. So the level itself is just really fun.
I have violent tendencies. Having a level that simulates using is very nice, and I like that.
I don't know if I can put that in the video. Only downside about the infection is I feel like the boss is a bit too tanky in the amount of HP it has. It's just one part, but the boss fight doesn't last like too long that it's miserable to play. It's just like something I don't want to replay is all.
I will put it in epic.
The next level it chases is one level that frustrated me a lot. Like the level is just straight up unfun to play because it feels like you have to know the layout of the level ahead of time in order to play it, which is exacerbated by the coins in the level. In fact, there's several blind jumps in the level, and in the maze part where spikes retract, you don't know where it's unsafe to just stay still for a while. It's overly decorated that it's so hard to know where to go. They use the same decoration for blocks that are completely solid and blocks that you can pass through, which is one of the most annoying design choices I've seen in a level. And in fact, they use some background blocks as blocks you can pass through at some point or other. Like there's no consistency on which blocks do what in this level. So this level is just really frustrating.
Yeah, sorry Brain Eater. I love your levels and all, but this is your one dot for me. Yeah, I got annoyed at the eye because it follows me and I'm like trying to like pass it, but then I don't know where to go because I don't know where to go.
Especially because there's a maze you don't know what the path is ahead of time. What I will say is the third coin is creative. You see it on your way climbing the tower, so you can just jump back down to get it. That's the only part I liked about the level, the third coin. So I'll put this in throw out the window. So Never Ending Sky is a really cool level. So the main gimmick of this level is that there's double jump orbs, and each time you break one, you regain a double jump. And there's two different types of double jump, one that has the yellow orb jump height and one that has the red orb jump height. And the level challenges you to use the double jump mechanics at the right height so that you can just clear the level. It's just so satisfying to play, especially with the sound design every time a crystal breaks. And the static is just so cute with the rabbit and the carrots. Speaking about the carrots are fair to find. There are ledges that are on the border of the screen to indicate that you can unlock a secret area. I think that's really good. A twist that it adds in the level is that at some point the orbs will refresh, and it uses that mechanic to add a new layer of depth to how you proceed in the level.
Remember that one part where it had like 3 of those and then 3 of the yellow ones, and then it was like a key. Then you like have to grab the key, and then when you grab the key, they refill.
Yeah, that's exactly a point that uses that part really well. It's in the final room. I think the worst part about this level is the moving platform section because there's too much waiting. And something I've noticed is that this is the only part you actually have to backtrack in the level, where everywhere else it just teleports you after you do a section, or if you backtrack, you don't do the exact same route. So overall, that section just feels unpolished, and the final room feels like a challenge of you understanding the timings of the double jumps and how exactly they work. But one thing I will say is that I feel like the difficulty curve is a bit unbalanced, and they could have done it a bit better by adding another room before the final room to warm you up to it. That's all. I think I'm gonna put Never Ending Sky on the top of Epic. Coin Temple is a level that's basically cookie clicker. Bounce on a block and just hit the block to get more points. And because of that, I'm going to add a cookie clicker tier. I don't know how to describe this level more. It's nice that you can lower the block in this level. I think that the cookie clicker levels have a terrible habit of making a speedrun coin in the level. I don't want to speedrun 8 minutes of cookie clicker. It's just tedious and really boring. That's all I have to say. That coin should not exist. So, cookie clicker tier.
Those are the levels we ranked today.
If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment on where you'd rank the levels and subscribe. Thank you all for watching.